Okay, so this is HIV and AIDS class. We will be far more looking about what HIV and AIDS stands for, what are some of the challenges, how can we relate to people living with HIV and AIDS, how does our community perceive HIV and AIDS, and apart from the communities, a country, the whole world at large, so we can be able to relate in different walks of life, either locally or maybe internationally. So first of all, let's look at the introductory part of it. What do you understand by the abbreviation HIV? What does it stand for? Human immune virus. Okay, fine. So, what about AIDS? What does it stand for? What does the abbreviation AIDS stand for? Serious? You're not getting No. We're not looking into the details. We're looking at the meaning of the abbreviation. HIV, H stands for human, I stands for immune virus. What about AIDS? AIDA. What does this abbreviation stand for? Okay, fine. So, can you now explain to us what you're trying to explain to us? Which one? AIDS?
No, I was explaining.
So you're trying to explain AIDS?
No, I'm trying to explain it.
Because HIV is a virus, AIDS is the disease. AIDS is caused by a virus called HIV. So HIV is not a disease on its own. It's something like that leads to another thing. So HIV is a virus that targets and alters the immune system, increasing the risks and the impact of other infections and diseases. So HIV, as I've already said, it's a virus. It works in altering the immune system. It works at creating some problems in the immune system. That's why you see that someone who is having AIDS suffers from different types of diseases. One can be having headache, the other one will be having diarrhea, the one will be having BP, a lot of diseases. Why? Because having this HIV virus, which alters the immune system. So it makes the immune system to be weak. Now, because the immune system is weak, that's why this person is subjected to different diseases. Without the treatment, the infection might progress to an advanced stage, which is called AIDS. So when one is diagnosed to have an HIV, that means they have this virus that is affecting their immune system. If it's not treated, then it becomes a disease which is called AIDS. Are we together? So due to medical advances, people with HIV and access to equity health care very rarely develop AIDS. If you have this virus, but you have very good health care, it's very rare for you to have AIDS.
So it simply means that when you have a virus, when you're taking care of yourself, it goes away.
It doesn't go away, but it doesn't, because there are viruses. So if you're taking care of yourself health-wise, you're taking the medications, you're eating well, you're not doing heavy works, or you're just healthy. That means the number of viruses that are in your body, they are not more, they are lessened, or maybe they are made weak to the extent that it cannot develop into a disease called HIV and AIDS. But if you're not taking care of yourself, health-wise, you're not on medication, you're not eating healthy food, you're working very hard, you're diminishing your body, you're likely to develop this disease called HIV and AIDS, because these viruses will multiply rapidly. Now when these viruses are made in your body, that's when you end up having AIDS. That's why it's advised that those people who have HIV and AIDS go to the hospital so that they know their health status. When you know your health status, you're given medication, you start the medication, and you just look as healthy as a normal person. And because those viruses, they are not multiplying, they are not vicious, they are not that harmful, very harmful. So as experts, World Health Organization observed that HIV has become a manageable condition, and many people with HIV have long and healthy lives. You remember back then when this disease was just coming in, it was considered to be very dangerous. But when people got the knowledge and the skills of what this disease is all about, for example, what I've just said, back then people didn't know the difference between HIV and AIDS. But when we gain the knowledge, you're able to know that HIV is a virus that causes AIDS. So when you're equipped with the knowledge and how you can be able to take care of yourself so that this virus do not multiply to become a disease like AIDS, these people, one is considered to live a healthy life and even live many years. So when one has HIV, it's not a death penalty. It's not a death penalty that means this one any day or any time is going to die. No. So as we've already talked about, HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus, and it attacks the immune cells called CD4 cells. That's why this HIV virus, it attacks the cells in our bodies called CD4 cells. That's why when you go to the hospital, for the healthy personnel to determine where your HIV status is, they say they count the CD4 count. How is it fairly? So these are the types of T cells, white blood cells that circulate, detecting infections throughout the body, and faults and anomalies in other cells. So these CD4 cells are T cells, the white blood cells that circulate, detecting infections throughout the body, and faults and anomalies in other cells. So this HIV, it deters these cells, affecting the immune system, whereby one is not able to fight against several diseases that may appear in the body. You are aware that sometimes we have diseases in our body or infections, but because our health system or our system is very strong, the white blood cells are able to fight against these diseases until you get well. While someone who is maybe a weakling or their system is not that healthy, you find out that maybe they can suffer, or maybe to the point they get admitted, while someone who is a healthy person, they might just get on the counter medication, then they are fine. So that's how these two differences are.
I have a question. Can someone who is HIV AIDS addiction is taking the medication share the disease to the partner?
That's why it's advised that you go to the hospital together and you get good advice from the health personnel, because when you go, the two of you, in case in this case, that means one of the person is positive, the other one is negative. That's why it's.
I heard that they don't share once they are taking the medication.
They don't check.
They don't share once they are taking the medication.
That's what you heard.
Yeah.
How do they not share?
Because they are taking the medication and they don't share the.
Okay, the factual thing behind it is that, as I've already said, that HIV is a virus, which is caused. It happens when the immune system attacks the CD4 cells. So when you're taking your medications, as I've already said, that if you're taking your medication, those viruses, they are not very vicious, they are not very harmful, because they are being suppressed by that medication. That's why maybe some other people were saying that when someone is taking medication, it's not very easy for them to pass out the virus to another person. Why? Because the viruses are weak because of the medication that the person is taking. But when you're not taking any medication, those viruses become very active and very harmful. Now we're together. But that doesn't give you a warrant to go around and live a reckless life. Because you never know. It's 50-50. You can get it or you can't get it. So don't play around with your life. So HIV targets and infiltrates CD4 cells, using them to create more copies of the virus. So when the CD4 cells are attacked, they keep on multiplying. So if you're not taking medication, they rapidly keep on multiplying. In doing so, it destroys the cells and reduces the body's ability to combat other infections and diseases. When those viruses, they keep on multiplying because you're not taking any medication, they keep on multiplying. By the end of the day, the body is not able to fight against other infections or diseases. That's why that person ends up getting sick, it becomes sickly, suffering from different types of diseases. This increases the risks and impact of opportunistic infections and some types of cancer. It is worth noting, however, that some people have HIV for long periods without experiencing any symptoms. HIV is a lifelong condition, but treatment and certain strategies can prevent the virus from transmitting and the infection from progressing. As I've already said, it's a lifelong condition. Up to date, they have not yet come up with a medication that completely eradicates this virus. What is AIDS? AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. Is an advanced stage of HIV infection. As I've already said, it is an advanced stage of HIV infection. If you have HIV, you're not getting any medication, those keep on multiplying. When they multiply to a certain stage, now you get AIDS. So doctors identify AIDS as having a CD4 count of fewer than 200 cells per cubic millimeter. Also, they may diagnose AIDS if a person has characteristic opportunistic infections, associated types of cancer, or both. When a person with HIV does not receive treatment, AIDS likely develop. As an immune system gradually wears down. However, advances in antiviral treatments have made the progression of AIDS increasingly less common. So what they're trying to say is that after carrying out several studies, scientists or medical practitioners came up with a remedy that is able to treat, that is able to suppress the multiplication of HIV viruses. So one is on treatment, on antiviral treatment. So when one is on this treatment, it suppresses the multiplication of these cells, thereby making them harmless. What are some of the causes of HIV? What are the causes of HIV? Okay, when one is taking antiviral drugs, ARVs, they stop the multiple multiplication of the viruses. Because remember, I was saying HIV is a virus, and if one is not on any medication, those viruses keep on multiplying. The cells, the CD4 cells, they keep on multiplying. Now, when they keep on multiplying, they become very dangerous because they become very many in the body. So they become very dangerous. To the extent that one develops this disease called AIDS. So on your ARVs, it means that it suppresses the multiplication of the HIV viruses. So in tumor you have the virus, but because when you're taking medication, they are suppressed. They don't keep on multiplying. That's why our friend was saying, she heard that it's not easy for someone who's on medication to transfer the disease to another person. Are you able to understand the context now? Yeah. So HIV can transmit when body fluids containing the virus come into contact with a permeable barrier in the body or small breaks in moist tissues of areas such as the genitals. So that's how HIV is transmitted, when body fluids containing the virus come into contact. That's when one is able to get the virus.
Also by sharing the stuff.
Okay, when we were in primary school, they talked of sharing needles. Yeah, but it's true, but the percentage is very small. Unless if maybe you take a piercing needle, you pierce one person, straight away you pierce another person, because that means the body fluid is still fresh. But if you pierce and you stay for a little while, that I don't think that virus can remain alive. Maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes is still alive, then you pierce another one. But it's advised that we should not share these sharp objects, because yes, you can get the virus, but the percentage on which these instruments can be used to transfer the virus is less compared to direct body contact of fluids.
Can you get a few cases?
Because it's direct contact,
So
the fluids. Is kissing, does it involve sharing of body fluids? No, I'm asking you. Does it involve sharing of body fluids? Or are cats involved?
Cats, yes.
Then you've answered yourself.
But saliva too. Okay, because the environment of man.
I'm asking you, does kissing, because here it's saying HIV can transmit when body fluids containing the virus come into contact.
I have a question.
So I'm asking, does kissing involve body fluids being in contact? No. Ask.
Wait. In Germany, so we're not told about saliva. So.
But now this is a university. That means when you're going up, the more you go up, the more knowledge you acquire.
So saliva too.
Me, I have a friend. My friend was dating someone who is HIV. But she's not HIV vaccine. How is that possible? Because these people were dating.
Just dating.
Dating means doing everything that is in there.
Just dating.
They are having sex also.
With no protection.
Yeah. With no protection, they used to do everything together, but it's not positive.
And you remember previously I said there are some people who have the virus but they don't have the signs. There are some people, there are some speculation that there is a certain blood group which you might be having the virus but you might look very strong, and when you go to the hospital you might not be finding the virus. So there are those rare occasions. That's why you just have to be very careful with your life, because that virus, that friend of yours might not be, she might be going to the hospital personnel may not be finding the virus in the body when it's right there in the body. Then at the very maybe they might not find the virus, maybe because that person is having a very healthy lifestyle, so that the virus is just hidden. It may not be that virus is not in the body, it's there, but maybe it's just hidden, because it's a very complicated, stubborn virus. So it might be not having the virus, it could be, or maybe she might be having the virus, but that virus is just being stubborn. Then at another stage, she might discover that she's having that virus. So that's why you are not supposed to put your life at risk, no. You have to take care of yourself, because you never know, this virus is stubborn. So specifically, HIV can transmit via blood, semen, pre-seminal fluid, vaginal fluids, rectal fluids, breast milk. Blood, semen, pre-seminal fluids, vaginal fluids, rectal fluids, breast milk. The virus cannot transmit through saliva.
Cannot transmit.
Wait. Don't just cut that one.
Yes.
Don't think you are very comfortable. You can go around kissing people. No. Wait. The virus cannot transmit through saliva. So a person cannot contact HIV through mouth, through open mouth kissing, for example. However, when that person has sores, you have sores, you are in contact, you likely are going to get that virus because it's a body fluid. But if you don't have a cat, but that does not permit you to go around kissing different girls or different men. No.
Because you are teaching us, because that's what's in the book, to avoid it, but we can tell us what you can do this.
Okay, so madam, no saliva. Not saliva.
This one has
Seriously. Don't just quote one part of the sentence. Bad.
With the cats, yeah,
but that does not give a permission to go around kissing girls and boys. No. Because that one is a risky behavior.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay.
Kissing girls on campus.
Who?
Down there.
Who? So the virus cannot transmit through saliva, so a person cannot contract HIV through open mouth kissing, for example. One of the main causes of HIV transmission in the US is oral or vaginal intercourse. That's in the US. According to the studies, we don't know here in Malawi. For the transmission to happen, the people must not be using barrier protection such as a condom or taking pre-exposure paralysis, that's paper, a treatment that aims to prevent HIV transmission among people with non-risky factors, especially those people who are in the healthy profession. They take that paper. Even those people who have been sexually abused, when you quickly take them to the hospital, they're able to give them that prevention treatment. So, but it's not 100%. Ujene, could you not get? Oh my gosh.